This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Let's get to our main event. This is a continuation of the great John Cena Batista feud. We've recently done the last man standing match. Well, we're looking for a new step, boys and girls, and this time it's an I Quit match. They get plenty of time, 20 minutes and 28 seconds. This is good stuff, man. Before the match gets started, Batista tells Cena he'd give him a chance to say, I quit, before the match gets started and he gets hurt. And this is great stuff. The finish is rather interesting. There's a couple of cars on the set here, and Cena is laying in front of the LED board behind the car, and Batista manages to get in the car. The keys are in it. He cranks it up, throws it in reverse, and backs into the LED board. And we are led to believe that John Cena has just been murdered live on pay-per-view. Now, if you're watching very closely, you can see Cena sneak over behind the lights and get out of harm's way, but Batista doesn't know that. And when he gets out of the car, well, Cena's got something ready for him. And, he tries the F5 on the car and he won't submit. And then he teases that he's going to F5 him off the top of the car onto the ramp, which is a very elevated height to say the least at this point. And Batista finally admits and says, I'll quit. And when he quits, you think, okay, well, Cena's going to let him down. But Cena, who's supposed to be our baby face, still throws him off anyway. And he goes through the stage. Quite the visual. It is a little bit of stunt work. I was a little disappointed in our hero, Arn. He did a bad thing. He threw Batista through the damn stage after he quit. The match was over.
That's the best thing he's ever done. Hey, let's freeze it right here. It's a FU, not an F5. That's Prox.
Yeah, my apologies.
Finish. You might want to go back and fix that.
No, I'm a dumbass. Let's let everybody know that I fucked it up. I said F5. It's definitely an FU. You know all about the FUs, and you probably had something to do with putting together this finish in the big stunt. What'd you think watching it back?
I thought it was violent as shit.
Yes, it was.
And once that picks up, Dave and John were two of the biggest stars in the company. And I think this was around the time that David it was hard to get heat on him because he was the face of SmackDown for a long time. He was the number one guy on SmackDown, I thought. And to get people to dislike him, and John's always going to have his detractors. I thought that John doing the FU off the top of the car was just something that he needed to do, and his audience needed to know that if you push him too far, John will go to some questionable lengths too. You can't punk a baby face out. They got to be able to fight. That's how they get over, and that's how they stay over. You may kick their ass, you may beat them, but you can't punk them out. And for John to do something a little questionable, I thought was good for his character. And, those guys put their body out there on the line, and we were able to do some pretty cool stunts, and it was a good hot finish. And they being the audience, to get a finish. And when he said, I quit, and he got it shoved up his ass anyway, that's about as good as you can do as far as a baby face paying off his promises.
Really good stuff here. Very entertaining, especially for the era. It gets 3.5 stars. Meltzer would say that there was a bunch of indie guys who were going to help catch Batista when he falls. We should also mention that after Cena gets the big win here, Sheamus comes out and hits him with a bicycle kick, or the brogue kick, as it were. This is not something that's super common in WWE pay-per-views, but it is something that I think consistently works, because you sometimes leave these shows, if it really is a blow-off, and wonder, well, what's next for these guys? And we find out what's next for John Cena. It's Sheamus.
Why does it always have to the show end making them happy?
Right.
I agree with you 100%. You know the answer? You don't.
Right.
And in the old days, if you were building to the next show, and I don't mean just week to week, but if you were going to build from pay-per-view to pay-per-view that could be 3 or 4 months out, sometimes you left the show. Even if you left it with a victory, you left that babyface laying in a pile of blood. And automatically, I want to see it again. I want to see it again. I am no longer satisfied. And leaving it with some heat, got to remember the previous pay-per-view, Sheamus had pretty much kicked the shit out of Triple H. That's not a bad setup for this match. And to bring him out here and get more heat, he was getting all the tools to get over, he being Sheamus.
Right. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.